Kimmi Scott is known for being one of the calmest and most level-headed women on Love and Marriage, Huntsville, but this time things have taken a turn that no one saw coming. After weeks of shade, side comments, and digs from Nell Fletcher, Kimmi has finally clapped back in a way that shocked fans. What makes this situation even more serious is that lawyers are now reportedly involved. This feud is no longer just about back-and-forth drama, it has moved into legal territory, and that changes everything. What started as shade on social media and quiet disagreements has now grown into one of the most talked-about feuds in Huntsville. For a long time, Kimmi has been respected for her calm, rational way of dealing with conflict. Even when the drama around her got loud, she usually chose to keep her peace, deal with issues privately, and avoid making a big public spectacle. But when someone who was once considered a friend keeps making comments, throwing subliminals online, and even dragging family into it, eventually the patience runs out. That is exactly what happened with Kimmi and Nell. This feud has grown step by step, and now it looks like the situation has reached a point where it is not just about TV or ratings anymore. It is about protecting personal life, reputation, and family. To understand why this has blown up in such a big way, we have to go back to the beginning of Kimmi and Nell's relationship. At first glance, the two women appeared to get along well. On camera, they seemed to show each other respect, laugh together, and hold things down in group settings. Fans watching the show might have thought they had a natural bond, but behind the scenes cracks were forming for a long time. Those cracks were small at first, little things about loyalty and how situations were being handled. But those small cracks eventually grew into something much bigger. The tension reportedly began when Nell started questioning Kimmi's authenticity. While Kimmi has always been praised by fans for being composed, rational, and thoughtful, Nell allegedly felt that Kimmi was too private and held back too much. In the world of reality television, people are expected to put everything out there, no matter how messy, but Kimmi has always drawn a line between her private life and what she chooses to show on camera. For her, not everything needs to be filmed, not every argument has to be made public, and not every personal matter belongs in the storyline. But for Nell, this came across as fake or as playing it safe. These words hit deep because when you're on reality TV, being called fake is one of the worst things you can be labeled. Fans want transparency, producers want explosive content, and castmates want openness. So, when Nell started questioning Kimmi in front of people and even in private conversations, Kimmi took it personally. It was not just a random critic or a stranger online saying these things, it was someone she thought she could trust. That made the sting much harder. After that, things began to shift even more when Nell reportedly aligned herself with other cast members who had their own issues with Kimmi. Suddenly, the disagreements weren't just private, they were playing out in group dynamics, on social media, and in the gossip blogs. Subtle shade started showing up in Instagram posts, cryptic quotes about fake friends, and digs that fans quickly picked up on. It became clear to viewers that things between the two women were not as friendly as they once appeared. Kimmi, in her usual way, tried not to respond. She didn't want to get messy online or create a circus out of the situation. Fans noticed that while Nell seemed to be throwing shade and dropping comments, Kimmi stayed quiet and chose not to clap back publicly. But what fans didn't know is that this silence was building up, and behind the scenes Kimmi was reaching her breaking point. Every feud has a tipping point, and this one reached it when things got personal. According to insiders, Nell crossed a line when she began making comments about Kimmi's family. That was something Kimmi couldn't let slide. Family has always been important to her, and when someone starts dragging your loved ones into drama, it's no longer about TV, it becomes personal and emotional. That was the final straw, and it's what pushed Kimmi to respond. But the way Kimmi responded is what surprised everyone. She didn't take to Instagram Live to rant, she didn't tweet cryptic messages, and she didn't get into a shouting match on camera. Instead, she made a smart, strategic, and powerful move. She reportedly brought lawyers into the situation. When legal action enters the picture, it sends a very clear message: this isn't a game anymore. This is serious, and it has consequences. The legal side of this feud is what makes it different from so many other arguments on reality TV. Most castmates argue, throw shade, fight at reunions, and then move on. But when you bring in lawyers, you're saying that reputations, businesses, and livelihoods are at stake. Kimmi has every reason to take this route. She isn't just a reality star, she has a professional career outside the cameras, and her name matters. If Nell made public comments that painted her in a false light, questioned her honesty, or accused her of things that could hurt her reputation, then Kimmi could have grounds for a defamation claim. Defamation is a serious matter, and in the world of reality TV, it's not talked about often because fans assume everything is just entertainment. But when words begin to affect someone's personal life, career, and opportunities, they cross into dangerous territory. Kimmi has worked hard to build her name, both on the show and outside of it, so it's no surprise she would want to protect it. The reports also suggest that Nell's comments didn't just stop at questioning Kimmi's authenticity. There were hints made about her family and personal struggles, and those are things Kimmi simply cannot ignore. She has already been through a lot in recent years, including serious personal challenges, and having those struggles mocked or used as shade isn't just disrespectful, it can feel like harassment when someone is constantly throwing subliminals online, making indirect comments, and dragging personal matters into the public eye. It becomes more than drama. It becomes something that affects mental health, peace of mind, and the ability to live without constant stress. By involving lawyers, Kimmi is protecting not only her name but also her peace and her family. Another angle to this is business. Being on Love and Marriage, Huntsville gives cast members visibility, but it also opens doors for brand deals, partnerships, and business opportunities. If Nell's words created the impression that Kimmi was fake, dishonest, or untrustworthy, that could impact how companies or individuals see her. Losing out on business opportunities because of someone else's comments is a big deal, and it's one of the reasons reality stars often consider legal action when drama gets out of control. This is where cease and desist letters come into play. Many times, when lawyers get involved in situations like this, one of the first steps is sending a formal letter demanding that the other party stop making certain statements or face further legal consequences. If Kimmi's team sent such a letter to Nell, it shows she is not playing around. It's not about exchanging insults anymore, it's about stopping harmful behavior now. When legal drama comes into reality TV, the ripple effects are massive. It doesn't just impact the two people involved. It affects the whole cast, the producers, and even the way the show is filmed. Cast members might now tread carefully around what they say about Kimmi or Nell, because no one wants to be dragged into legal issues. People like Marceau and Letitia Scott, who have their own history of speaking out about Kimmi, may have to watch their words more carefully than ever. Destiny Payton, who often gets involved in drama, might have to decide whether she wants to side with Nell or stay out of it completely. And Melody Sherry, who knows firsthand how intense legal battles can get, may have to choose whether to publicly support Kimmi or let her handle this battle alone. Producers and the network are also in a tough position. On one hand, legal drama makes the show more explosive, and fans will definitely be watching closely. On the other hand, too much legal tension can hurt the show. If Kimmi and Nell are restricted from talking about each other due to legal orders, how can producers capture the real drama? They may have to edit around it, cut footage, or even rethink storylines. That could change the direction of the entire season. This situation could also shift power dynamics on the show. If Kimmi successfully uses legal action to protect herself, she will come out as one of the strongest cast members, someone others think twice about crossing. If Nell pushes back and manages to hold her ground, she could rise as a new central figure, someone fans watch closely whether they support her or not. Either way, the show will never be the same after this. Fans are already talking about what this means for future reunions, group scenes, and cast events. How can you film when two people are in the middle of a legal dispute? Will they even be in the same room together? Will the producers allow them to face off, or will they keep them apart? These are the kinds of questions being asked, and they show just how big this feud has become. The truth is, once lawyers get involved, reality TV rules no longer apply. It stops being about storylines and starts being about legal consequences. That is what makes this feud so different, and it's why fans are paying attention. This isn't just drama for entertainment anymore, It's a real-life battle that could have long-lasting effects on the women involved and the show itself.